Henry, how you doing?
You know how it goes. It could always be worse. I've got this feeling the worst is still ahead of us.
Same here. Trouble's coming from all sides. We'll see how it turns out.
Anyway, sir, I don't mean to be rude, but I doubt you just want to ask how I'm doing.
No. You're right. Let me get to the point. I need help with something, but I have no one to ask, even though I know you have a lot on your plate.
I'd be happy to offer my services. What's it about?
An old friend of mine reached out to me, Albik of Unichov. Does the name ring a bell?
That name does ring a bell. Isn't that the famous Sawbones?
Physician would be the more accurate term, but even that barely does him justice. He's one of the greatest scholars of our age, and also King Wenceslas' personal physician. It's whispered at court that the king has fallen seriously ill while imprisoned in Vienna.
Sigismund focuses on plundering his kingdom, and Wenceslas's health hardly seems to concern him, does it?
Maybe.
Damn. That does sound serious.
When Master Albik heard about it, he decided to act.
He wants to go all the way to Vienna to see the king?
No. For now, he's heading to Sedlec. Abbot Jan holds considerable influence at Sigismund's court. Albik wants to visit him and ask for his intercession.
No, I don't like it. If the abbot is allied with Sigismund, he might want to detain Albik, or blackmail him.
I feel the same, but Albik won't be talked out of it. He sees helping the king as his highest duty.
Can you tell me more about the abbot? Sorry, but it sounds like you're afraid of him. I met him once, too, but I didn't get a bad impression.
You know Abbot Jan?
Not quite. We had dealings once. Something with bones. But never mind that. Go on.
Look, Henry, every high-ranking cleric's a politician in his own way. What worries me about Abbot Jan is what he ascribes his authority to. Others claim their vocation is divine will. He sees it somewhat the other way round.
I don't really get it.
It's only natural for an abbot or a bishop to question the morality of his acts. One must act, even if it means confession and penance later. Abbot Jan, though, seems to think that his every move and scheme is divine will itself, and that could be dangerous.
What's that got to do with you?
Albik and I go way back. He's been living over the Alps for a few years, studying at the university in Padua. As soon as I heard about Wenceslas, I asked him to come back. It's a serious matter, and when it comes to the king's health, he's the best there is. But I didn't expect him to act so rashly.
And how does all this concern me?
As I said, it's a matter of security. God forgive me, our king's health is of course above all. But right now, I'm more worried about Albik. It took some effort, but I convinced him to wait, at least until I find him a reliable escort. And believe me, it wasn't easy. That mule's got a scholar's head, but it's a stubborn one.
So, if I've got this straight, you want me to escort Wenceslas's court physician to the Sedlec monastery, where they don't usually let anyone in, and the abbot is as thick as thieves with Sigismund, so Albik, who was dead set on going himself, can try to get access to the imprisoned Wenceslas?
No, actually, yes, that's exactly it.
All right, I'll go with Albik. Last time I was at the monastery, it was, quite an experience.
Experience?
That's a long story. So what do you want me to do?
Stop by and talk to Albik, then decide for yourself. I meant to host him here, but he'd probably be bored out of his mind. He lodged in the meantime in Kuttenberg, at the tarmac with an apothecary. I think his name's Talbot. Give this letter to Albic, so he'll know I sent you personally.
Tarmark, apothecary. All right, I'll go find him.
Good luck. I'll be in your debt.
He's a good bloke. We'd miss him here.
God bless.
A letter for Albic? So Albic is with the neighbours.
There's nothing to see here. What are you doing here?
Can't you see I...
This should be the house Albic went to. But what's going...
Get lost! Can't you see I haven't got time for this? Are you
What
a
do you
physician?
want?
No, you're not.
What are we going to
So
do?
leave me the hell alone.
Brava, Kuta.
Albic, come on.
I could get into the house this way.
Excuse me?
What's going on here?
Please, leave us alone. We...
Easy now. Don't be afraid. I'm only carrying a letter from Master Albic.
So, you're not one of those brutes out there?
No, I've no idea who they are.
Oh, Marnia's not well. I went to fetch Master Albic to come and see her. But right after him came that puffed-up oaf. He insisted Albic had to tend to him first, not our maid. He He wanted to send his big brute in after him, but we blocked the door. Hopefully, they'll leave soon. So, what's this letter you're carrying?
It's from Lord Pisek. Where can I find Albic? I promise not to take up his time.
Very well. Go on up to the room.
Where are you, old man? There goes another bloody day.
What are we going to do?
Let's try a little cough.
Master Albic? Shh! I was sent by...
I don't know how you got in, but be quiet now. Take a deep breath. All right. Your breathing is improving.
It still hurts in the chest, sir. Like a horse sat on me.
A nettle compress will get your blood flowing. It'll ease off. Ribs aren't broken and the lungs sound clean. I have a potion made for you. Take it every morning and night, and stay in bed for a few more days.
But, sir, who'll see to the house? Who'll cook? My mistress won't allow.
I'll speak with her. What you need is rest. Thanks for waiting. I don't like being disturbed when treating patients. So, what can I do for you? Are you feeling unwell?
Me? No. Lord Pisek sent me to see you.
Ah, I think I know what this is about.
If I may ask, what's wrong with her?
She suddenly collapsed with chest pain, passed out while carrying a bucket from the well.
I hope she gets better soon.
Me too. But you didn't come about her, did you?
What's the ruckus out there?
Just another rich man trying to force his way in. Refuses to accept that coin isn't everything.
You refuse to treat him?
Not at all. I'll see to him when I've got time.
I'm here as a messenger. Sir Peter of Pisek gave me this letter for you.
Really? Let's have a look.
Here it is. My name's Henry, and Lord Pisek says I should escort you to the monastery in Sedlitz.
Yes, yes. Peter and I had a bit of a disagreement about this matter last time. Look, Henry, I appreciate your offer, but I don't think I require your services. Either way, you delivered the letter, and I am sure Lord Pisek will reward you for that.
Are you seriously not afraid to go to the monastery alone? You do know Sigismund has taken up there, don't you?
Yes, but it doesn't trouble me unduly.
It may not be only him. Don't forget his influence. You can never be sure who to trust.
I don't believe Sigismund would do anything to me. He has no reason to. And he doesn't act rashly. In a way, he actually owes me. Still, I wouldn't want to count on that.
You really expect me to just walk away?
Well, if you feel that... What the hell is that racket?
Hey! Albic!
Christ, give me strength. Another bunch of impatient wretches. Perhaps it's time I finally had a proper word with them.
Get out here, you piss fart!
Well, they don't look much like the debating sort.
That's unfortunately true. On the other hand, it was fortunate Lord Pisek, despite my objections, sent me a personal guard, right?
You mean me?
Who else? Come on, in the worst case, I'll just see what you're made of.
So, you finally decided to come out. About time. I won't be kept waiting in the street like some mangy mutt.
I've told you several times already. I'm busy.
Because you're wasting time on some wench instead of helping someone who actually matters.
No person is more important than any other.
Ha! For your own good, I'll pretend I didn't hear that nonsense.
Calm down, sir. A respectable man like you surely understands that violence solves nothing. If you harm Master Albic, who will help you with your, ailment then?
And I'm supposed to let myself be treated like a doormat?
Of course not. But this outburst isn't exactly dignified either. Go home, and Master Albic will come to see you soon.
All right, let's go.
Good gracious. Henry, that was impressive. Hats off. Perhaps it truly would be best if we went to the monastery together. So, shall we go?
Yes. Let's go.
You can't go to the monastery dressed like that. Your armor would draw too much attention. Simple clothing will do. Go and change, then come back.
All right. I'm ready.
Excellent.
Well, there's nothing keeping me here. Let's go now.
Just change first. Armor would only attract unwanted attention in the...
All right.
What can you do? Maybe not.
Good day.
Come and take a look.
Shoes here. Shoe repair.
Servus, Freund.
Greetings.
What do you have for...
I was glad to be of help to you.
So, that thing with your aunt, did you make up?
Not a chance.
I'm ready.
Excellent.
There's nothing keeping me.
I'll just grab a few essentials. All right then. I think we can go. I've got everything I need. And you?
How am I supposed to behave at the monastery?
You'll be there as my personal escort. So you deserve the same respect as me. It's a bit unusual, but my name opens many doors.
Of course. You can count on me. How long will the journey take?
You've never been to Sedlets? It's just beyond the town gates.
I haven't. They don't let just anyone into the monastery. I'm ready too. Let's go.
Off we go.
Father Abbot.
Albeck, my friend. Christ be praised. Greetings, Master Albeck. I heard you returned from Padua, but truth be told, I didn't expect you. So tell me, what brings you to my doorstep?
Worthy Father, I thank you for the welcome. I've come to ask a favor, but...
Drop the formality, my friend. We've known each other a long time.
Very well. I simply need an audience with King Sigismund. It's about his brother's health.
You can surely request an audience.
I could, but I'd hoped your influence might help make it happen.
Oh, I think you overestimate my influence. In any case, you can gain access to Sigismund's court on your own. We both know how. That matter still hasn't been settled, Albeck. The king cares about it.
Actually... Forgive me. These are grave matters concerning His Royal Majesty. Can we speak privately somewhere?
I'd like that, but I'm afraid things are rather complicated right now.
Well, what's going on, my friend? You seem a little uneasy.
I am. There are 3 seriously ill patients in the infirmary, gravely ill, and I fear the worst.
The Black Death?
Sadly, we can't rule it out. And I say that as someone who's lived through one outbreak already, and survived.
And who are these 3 patients?
2 are members of the monastery, Confessor Stephen and Brother Yaroslav, who works in the scriptorium, and one of the maidservants.
That doesn't make any sense. How could all 3 of them get infected?
When the plague strikes full force, it's swift.
That's not what I meant. You said yourself one of the sick is a maid. And as far as I know, women aren't allowed in the cloister.
True. So how could she have caught it along with 2 monks?
That, alas, I don't know.
Well, does it look like the plague?
You think I'd be alarmed over nothing?
Forgive me, Father. Where would it have come from? The monastery is isolated. Few are allowed inside the cloisters.
Before King Sigismund decided to stay here, we took in many folk fleeing his army. We gave those poor souls food, shelter. Some of them washed in clean water for the first time in weeks.
And in poverty, hunger, and filth, all sorts of illnesses thrive.
On top of that, there's construction going on inside the church. There are all sorts of craftsmen and laborers in the monastic courtyard.
What are we going to do, Albeck?
We'll go and see to the sick, of course. Then there'll be no reason we can't speak to the abbot in private about our matter.
But what if we catch it?
My mission is to help those in need. And that risk is part of it. You're free to walk away, of course.
Lord Pisek assigned me to guard you.
I believe he had other kinds of danger in mind.
I wouldn't be so sure.
Thank you, Albeck, for volunteering. I wouldn't have dared ask it of you.
No need to thank me. I'm a physician. And there are people here in need of help. Not only those in the infirmary. If we can rule out plague, that may put your mind at ease too.
That's what I'm praying for. And of course, I'm open to discussing that matter of ours later on. I'll have a room prepared for you right in the infirmary. Brother Benedict, one of our novices, is there, and will tell you all you need to know.
Thank you. But I'd like to ask one small favor. I've been here many times before, but Henry's here for the first time. Would one of the brothers be able to show him the monastery? I'd rather he not get lost like I did all those years ago.
Of course. If you'd like, Henry, just ask Brother Petramil. I just spoke with him before you arrived. He'll show you around and gladly answer any questions.
Thank you, Father.
Very well. We've talked long enough. Let's get to work. Will you come with me to the infirmary, Henry?
Of course. Wouldn't let you go alone, would I?
I didn't think so.
Yes. Although it's not like he tried to hide it much. The plague's a terrible illness. But surely they'd recognize it in the infirmary.
At your service.
Why would he need you?
Well, the thing is, the monastery isn't in great shape. Not that you'd notice right away. King Wenceslas borrowed heavily from settlers. And now the monastery has to sell land to pay off its debts. And when Sigismund marched on the town with his army,
May God give you health, sir.
It's your bloody fault anyway. Oh, I struck you first, and that should have ended the duel. But no, you just had to have the last...
So, this is the Confessor. What do you make of it, Henry?
He looks worn out. Doesn't even notice us. Whatever's wrong with him, it's clearly taken a toll.
Exactly. At his age, any illness hits far harder than it would a young and healthy man. Well, the good news, I suppose, is that he's not in agony. Pain's part of life, but no one deserves to suffer too much. Compassion, Henry, whether for the suffering or even the enemy, is part of every good physician's character. Unfortunately, not every physician is a good one.
Albek? Albek of Unichov?
Zacharias? What are you doing here?
Wherever His Majesty goes, I must follow. You know how it is. But why aren't you in Padua, studying? Have you been missing your homeland?
I was summoned home for urgent matters. And since I'm here, the abbot asked for my help.
Ah, yes. This plague he's so afraid of.
Plague? Do you believe it? Am I such a poor teacher?
Of course not. But until now, it was just my word against the abbot's. In other words, I am truly glad you're here, my friend.
Henry, allow me to introduce Master Zacharias of Prchatsitz. He once studied under me, but became a trusted friend, and eventually the personal physician of King Sigismund.
You flatter me, Albek. The road to that post was a good deal more torturous than you make it sound. And you are...
Henry of Skalitz. By order of Sir Peter of Pisek, I'm here to protect Master Albek.
Though I've no idea from what. But who am I to argue, eh?
Quit complaining. You might find an aide like him more useful than you think. Anyway, this here is Dinesh. He didn't come entirely of his own will either, but he's proven a reliable man.
Dinesh Latskvi. Gentlemen?
Well then, now we all know each other, shall we finally return to the matter of the patients? Zacharias, I presume the abbot summoned you for the same reason as me.
Aye, though I've only had time to merely examine them all. All three share the same symptoms. It begins with weakness, then comes fever, rash, and later bloody diarrhea. By far the best off is the confessor here. He can still talk. The maid and the translator from the scriptorium are much worse. They sleep most of the day, and when they do speak, it's nonsense, because they're delirious with fever.
Right. In that case, first we need to bring down the fever. Have they given you anyone to assist?
Yes, Benedict. He's a novice and a bit odd, but he knows more about alchemy than most.
We'll need linen and clean water for compresses. Pre-boiled water is best. Have you got chamomile decoctions?
Benedict brews a fresh batch every evening.
And what are they feeding them?
Mostly bread, fruit. Yesterday they had fish, but they haven't eaten much of it.
That doesn't sound like proper food for the sick. If they've got a fever, they need to be drinking a lot, don't they?
You're right. This is no good at all. They might as well be feeding them dry pretzels. They should be getting something light and nutritious, ideally in liquid form. Broths, stews, thin porridge.
Agreed. Dinesh will speak to Solarius Julian. You know the way to the kitchen, right?
Consider it done.
Then fetch herbs from Joachim. I gave him a list of what we'll need.
Gentlemen.
Joachim, you say? Well now.
Who's this Joachim? You know him?
The monastery herbalist. He lives in a hut in the garden behind the infirmary. But if I were you, I wouldn't bother him too much. He's a grumpy old fellow.
You say that because you don't know him. I'll tell you more about him, Henry. But we have more pressing concerns right now.
Can I help in any way?
The best thing you could do is find out what the patients were doing before they ended up here. Diseases spread through foul air. So if we find where the three of them were breathing the same air, we'll find the source of the infection too.
Who should I start with?
If I were you, I'd start with the confessor. He's the only one still lucid enough to speak. Better hurry. He might take a turn for the worse any moment.
Who should I ask about the maid?
As far as I know, her name's Plezhna. She gets her work assignments from Steward Zdenek. So I'd go and speak to him. And apparently, she's got a friend here. She might know something too. Try and find her.
Who might know the monk who was translating in the scriptorium?
Everything to do with books is handled by the librarian. His name's Crispin. He likes the sound of his own voice, but if you're patient, he might tell you what our patient was working on.
Can I help with anything else?
No, that's more than enough now.
Once you've found something, come back. Maybe we'll have figured out more by then.
Brother, I can't anymore. Nothing's...
What's the matter? Do you need me to take you to the infirmary? You're writhing around like a worm in salt.
Forgive me, I have a fever of decoction brewing and, it needs straining.
I can't feel my legs or my back. Just a burning pain so bad, even the devil would ask for a cold cloth.
Is there anything I can help you with, good wife?
Who are you calling good wife? The name's Maddie, and no, only a sore bones can help me. Or the Reaper, maybe.
Then it's your lucky day. Because I'm a bit of both. Tell me what's bothering you, Maddie.
Well, it hurts like hell. Here, below my belly. It feels like a couple of hounds fighting over a piece of bacon. And the Holy Brother over there won't help. Says it's a woman's issue. Only I'm regular as a Vesper's bell. This is something else.
That's a vivid description. How long has it been hurting?
Well, it started the day before yesterday, and it's only gotten worse since then. And I've tried everything. Calamus, yarrow, I even prayed to Saint Benedict and rubbed garlic on my stomach. I even tried hanging from a ladder upside down so it could pass through me, all for nothing. And I almost bashed my head getting down.
What were you doing before it started hurting?
Working like a dog I was. Who said I wasn't? Zdeněk? All right, so I sat down on the stairs, just for a little while. My legs were killing me. Besides, those stairs were bloody hard. And ice cold too. It's a wonder I didn't freeze in place.
All right, enough. I get it. All right. I'll try to help you somehow. If you sat on cold steps for a while, you might have caught cold from below.
Whatever it is, I just want it to stop hurting. Sakura. Let them rinse me out with holy water for all I care. Or at least tie a knot in my guts, or I swear they are gonna come spilling out.
I have this medicine here. Maybe it'll help you feel better. Here. If it's as strong as it smells, you'll be back in fine fettle in no time.
Are you sure about this? This looks like the stuff I had to gurgle that one time when I ate too much bacon. But, all right then. I'll hand it over before I give birth over here. What the... Holy Mary, did you hear that too? It's coming from my belly. That swill must be coming back up. What did you do to me? How am I supposed to work now? I can barely crawl.
May God give you health, sir.
My respects.
Brother Petramil?
Yes, and you are?
My name's Henry. I'm accompanying Albik of Unichov. The abbot said you'd show me around the monastery.
Of course. The monastery grounds are extensive, and I'm glad you're open to advice on getting around. Would you like to go now?
Yes, please.
Our monastery was the first Cistercian monastery in Bohemia, and is thus the mother of all our order's monasteries in these lands. This is the gate to the monastery. Within the monastery grounds, you'll find the workers' dwellings, farm buildings, and fish ponds. And on the far side of the monastery, we've got an orchard and gardens.
I saw quite a few knights here. Do they live here?
Those are brothers of the Teutonic Order. The abbot offered them lodging while they're gathering resources in Kuttenberg for their next campaign.
How long are they supposed to stay?
No one knows. But it doesn't look like they're in any great hurry. This is the kitchen. From here, Salarius Julian oversees the state of the monastery stores and the meals for the brothers.
Good to know where to come if I get hungry.
Yes. But please, try not to speak with the other brothers too much.
Why not? Have they taken a vow of silence?
The rule of Saint Benedict encourages the cultivation of silence. The brothers shouldn't be chatting idly, but rather turning their minds to work and to God.
What if I need something?
In case of need, of course you may speak to them. But for ordinary tasks and objects, we've developed our own gestures. You don't need to learn them, though. As a guest, you won't need access to such things. Let's continue the tour. Please, follow me. This is our monastery library and scriptorium. Brother Crispin, our librarian, does a splendid job. Our collection may not be the largest, but it's exceptionally colorful.
Can I borrow any books here?
Yes, but please try not to take them out of the library. We already have trouble with brothers not returning them. I think I myself might have a forgotten volume or two in my cell.
Can I help with that?
That's up to Brother Crispin. But it's true he's overburdened and sorely short of time. Try asking him.
All right, I'll check with him. If Albic doesn't need me urgently.
That would be kind of you. So, let's move on. This is the chapter hall. Here, Abbot Jan receives important visitors and pilgrims.
You mean like when Sigismund came?
Of course. That was the most important visit, and duty of recent years.
Have you had any other such visitors recently?
The king brought his closest attendants. Even his physician, whom the abbot, I believe, also asked for help.
2 royal physicians in one place. That's quite the coincidence.
Indeed. That's why I'm also curious why your master has come.
I'd like to know that too. But that's far above my station.
I understand. Sometimes it's best not to know, just to act. Let's continue the tour. Please, follow me. Next, We'll visit the beating heart of our monastery. Please, ignore the ongoing work.
Good to see you.
God be with you.
Welcome to the Church of the Assumption of the Virgin Mary. It's the pride of our monastery, and the dominant landmark of the region.
What's with the hole in the floor?
Yes. That's one of the hazards of ongoing repairs. But that's not something a guest need concern himself with.
I don't mind. Tell me.
There's not much to tell. During repairs, the floor collapsed into the cellar spaces, and we're working on fixing it.
That's nothing, really. Houses collapse for peasants and kings alike.
Damage to the house of God is another matter. A bad omen. But enough of that. Let's continue the tour. There's not much left now. Did you notice the cemetery by the monastery when you arrived?
Hard not to. It's enormous.
Yes. For a long time now, people have traveled even from far and wide to bury their loved ones here.
Dragging a body all that way? Why not bury them in the village graveyard?
Over a century ago, Abbot Heidenreich went on a pilgrimage to the Holy Land and brought back soil from Christ's tomb. Since then, people have come here in great numbers. After the plague and the wars of recent years, their numbers have only grown. We recently built the ossuary to have a place to lay the dead. These cells are reserved for brothers who hold an official position in the monastery.
Why are they here, specifically?
The abbot's study is upstairs, so we can be close at hand.
Where does that gate lead?
To the garden surrounding the monastery. We'd prefer you didn't go there too much. That part of the garden lies beneath the wing occupied by His Majesty.
And which cell is yours?
If you come through the garden gate, it's the first cell on the right. But I spend most of the day making rounds around the monastery, or assisting the abbot, who has his office above us.
Should we move on?
Please, this way. Next, I'll show you the abbot's chapel.
Won't the abbot mind?
Apparently not. The Right Reverend instructed me to give you as thorough a tour of the monastery as possible, including the chapel. He said ignorance mustn't hinder your ability to assist your master. The last part of our tour. This chapel is where the abbot himself prays. The painting above the altar shows Archangel Michael, weighing souls on a scale. We see sinners cast to hellish beasts and pious souls rising to the gates of heaven.
But if I buy indulgences, I can avoid hell, right?
For lesser sins, yes. Remember, indulgences only lighten your soul and shorten your time in purgatory. But no matter how much you give to the church, indulgences won't save you from mortal sin. I'll now take you to Master Albic in the infirmary. Please follow me. To the right is the gate to the wing now occupied by King Sigismund. Don't go near it. You won't get in. They don't wish to be disturbed. And if you walk past, please, try to be quiet. And here's the infirmary, where you'll find Master Albic. Anything else you'd like to ask?
Are there any other interesting places you haven't shown me?
What exactly are you helping Master Albic with?
Mostly, I make sure Albic has everything he needs.
Then I'm sure you'd enjoy meeting Brother Crispin in the library. He has books that might prove useful to you both.
Are there places I'm not allowed?
Aside from the wing occupied by King Sigismund, the abbot has granted you access to the whole monastery. But again, I ask you, only speak to the brothers when absolutely necessary.
I'd say I know everything I need. I'll go and check what Master Albic needs.
Good luck. And God be with you.
And with you. How do you feel?
Like I'm turning inside out.
Don't worry. I'll let you rest. But first, I need to know who you've been seeing lately. And where.
What? Why?
Because we need to find out where and how you got infected.
What's that got to do with the others?
The sickness spreads through foul air. Anyone breathing the same air as you might be at risk.
You sound like you know what you're talking about. And I believe you've got your reasons. But I'm a confessor. I can't. I mustn't break the seal of confession or tell you what anyone confided in me.
But this isn't just about you.
Exactly. It's about the souls I help unburden of their sins. And the trust I'd be betraying.
And what about those who never got the chance to confess? What if they catch the sickness and die? Don't their souls matter to you?
It's not that. But I don't know how to help you.
Can't you at least point me in the right direction?
Perhaps you're right. I could at least point the way. There's something that might be connected to this dreadful sickness. Look in my cell. It's the one beneath the abbot's chamber, opposite the spiral staircase. Here's the key. I think you'll find something there that might help you.
I'm gonna die of boredom in here. Can't you at least be quiet while you do it?
What am I looking for?
That you'll have to find out for yourself.
I understand. I won't pressure you. Get some rest.
Wait, please. Do you think that I might ask you for something?
What is it?
I'd like to have some flowers. Something living to cover up the ever-present stench of decoctions.
My head's killing me. And my shoulder.
What would you want flowers for? You'd be better off brewing a fever remedy from them.
Do I need a reason? I just like them. Their color, their fragrance.
I'll see what's growing nearby and bring you some. It'll brighten the place up a bit at least.
Thank you, lad.
Brought the flowers you...
May the Lord
Here they are.
Thank you, lad.
I'm gonna die. Boredom in here.
Can't you at least be quiet while you do it?
You're always welcome.
You're Zdeněk, right? They say you're the steward here. I need to find out something about Blažena.
She's lying in the infirmary. What's it to you?
She's in a bad way. Master Albic is treating her, but to work out what's wrong, I need to know what she's been doing lately.
Oh, I see. That's different. What do you want to know, then?
What sort of work does Blažena usually do?
All sorts. She's a maid, so she does whatever needs doing.
Did she ever go into the monastery?
What would she do there? Women aren't allowed in. But she still manages to get where she's not allowed.
What do you mean by that?
It'll sound terrible with her being sick now.
Whatever it is, out with it.
I think she's been stealing. Lately, food's been going missing from the pantry, and she and I are the only ones with a key. I was just about to throw her out, but then she fell ill.
Where does Blažena sleep? I'd like to take a look at her room.
What for? How do I know you won't nick something?
Excuse me? I can bring Master Albic here if you like, but he's got better things to do. Like saving Blažena and the others.
All right, no need to shout. Blažena sleeps in the house across from the church, like most of the help. When you enter, go through the door on the right, then up the stairs. Her bed and chest are by the window.
I'll take a look there if that's all right. Who was Blažena closest with here?
She shared a room with Valerie. I had to separate them more than once so they'd stop chatting and get to work.
And how do I recognise Valerie?
Easy. She's the only blonde among the maids.
And where do I find Valerie?
That's her, standing over there. But listen, don't tell her what I suspect. She might take it the wrong way.
Where did you...
That's her.
Thanks.
Greetings. Do you need something?
I need to find something out about Blažena. And they say you know her better than anyone.
Well, we share a room, but we're not that close, really. Why?
I'm helping the physician treating her, and anything I find out could help. I spoke to the steward, but he wasn't very helpful.
Zdeněk? I don't know. I doubt I'll tell you anything he hasn't already.
What is it? Why are you suddenly on edge?
When Blažena fell ill, I was there. I sleep right next to her. What if I caught it too?
Don't pretend. You were calm until I said your steward sent me.
Shh! Quiet!
What is it?
I'll tell you something, but not in front of him. If he heard, he'd skin me alive.
Don't worry, I won't let that happen. If it comes to it, I'll speak to the abbot in your favour.
And the abbot will listen to you.
If not to me, then he'll listen to Master Albic for sure. He's a royal physician, and that counts for something.
All right then. What did Zdeněk tell you about Blažena?
Well, he said he suspects that Blažena's been stealing.
That scoundrel! I knew he'd try feeding you lies.
How can you be so sure Zdeněk lied to me?
Because I caught him red-handed. I saw him going through Blažena's things. Her chest.
You think he was looking for something?
Maybe. I saw him take something out of her chest.
And do you know exactly what he took?
No. It was already getting dark, and the bastard's quick with his hands. But it must have been something small. Right after that, he slipped out and went down into the cellar outside.
Do you know where Zdeněk sleeps? Maybe I should have a look.
We live in the same house. Me and Blažena sleep upstairs. He's got a bed in the kitchen downstairs, just opposite the door.
And what sort of cellar is it?
The entrance is in the yard, under the stairs. There's food down there, but mainly that's where the monastery wine is kept. There are a few rooms down there, and only Zdeněk has a key to some of them.
Sounds like a perfect place to stash stolen goods. But why would Zdeněk lie about Blažena stealing?
I don't know what went on between them, but lately he's been giving her a hard time. I think he wants to get rid of her.
Now? When poor Blažena's ill?
That's just grist to his mill. The poor lass can't even defend herself, and he wants to take advantage of it.
Why would the steward want to get rid of an ordinary maid?
Isn't it enough that he's a scoundrel? Maybe he fancied her and she laughed in his face. Serves him right.
Did Blažena have a sweetheart?
That? I'm not entirely sure.
So someone's been sniffing round her?
I only ever saw her once, chatting cheerfully in the doorway of the monastery with some monk.
Monks aren't supposed to talk to women, right?
And I haven't told anyone but you about it, and you keep it to yourself too. Blažena's got it hard enough as it is.
Where did Blažena usually go around the monastery?
All over?
Right, but that doesn't help me. Where did only she go?
Zdeněk gave her the pantry key, so she was the only one who had access to it.
And where is that pantry?
That same cellar I already told you about. The one I saw Zdeněk run into.
That'll do for now.
Right, but how is all this supposed to help Blažena get better?
Well, to be honest, I don't know myself. But Master Albik said to find out what I can.
And how is Blažena doing?
Don't worry about her. Albik treated King Wenceslas himself. Illnesses don't scare him.
If you say so. That does make me feel better. Let's hope she recovers. I miss her high spirits. And her laugh. Without her, it's so horribly quiet here.
Farewell, my friend.
That's a lot of water. What's Zdeněk using it for? These must be barrels from Lorca. Wine in a tub. But it looks watered down to me. Could Zdeněk have poured water into it? Why is there wine spilled everywhere? Of course. Now I get it. Steward Zdeněk's watering down the monastery wine. If the abbot found out about this, he'd throw him out.
How am I supposed to work now? I can barely crawl.
That's a lot of coin. Suspiciously much for a common maid. know you're watering down the monastery wine.
I beg your pardon?
Don't act like you didn't hear. You know exactly what I meant.
You feeling all right? Maybe you should lie down.
I saw your cellar.
What? But no one's allowed down there.
And I know exactly why. Now we're gonna have a little chat.
All right. But not here. Come with me.
I'm not going anywhere with you. We're talking here and now.
Oh, come on.
No, come on.
Shh, not so loud.
What, you don't want anyone to hear? Then talk.
All right. I won't say another word. Just stop shouting. So what the hell do you want from me? Coin?
Why did you lie to me about Blazena? About her stealing?
What's Blazena got to do with all this anyway? Did that bitch tell you something?
She didn't say a word, because she couldn't. She's barely alive. And anyway, why would she tell me anything?
Because she figured it out too. One time I forgot to lock the cellar door behind me and she caught me at it.
So that's why you lied about her? So no one would believe her if she gave you away? You're a right bastard, you know that?
Go to hell.
They say you were rummaging through her chest. And you took something.
What kind of nonsense is that?
Don't deny it. They saw you. So what did you take?
I found a key in her chest.
What key? What's it for?
It's for the monastery cellar.
You mean your cellar?
No, it's the key to the cellar under the monastery.
But how would Blazena get something like that? Women aren't even allowed in the monastery.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, Christ. And that's all you know?
That's it, I swear.
Then give me the key.
I don't have it on me.
So where is it?
It's hidden, where I keep the silver from the watered wine. I figured you'd want something in return for keeping quiet.
Keep the silver. I just want the key.
Really? Then it seems we have a deal. Come with me.
I'm always glad to see polite people like you. God be with you.
God be with you. How's the watch going?
Come closer. I don't want to shout here.
So where's the key?
Here it is. Just like I promised. Wait! Promise me you won't tell the abbot about the wine. He'd have me hanged, or kicked out if I'm lucky. But if I stay here at the monastery, I could be useful to you.
How useful?
As the steward, I can get all sorts. Lockpicks and other handy things.
We'll see. I'll think about it. But now clear off.
God be with you. Keep the peace, and we'll stay friends.
Cheers. I hope you have an uneventful shift. There's not much here. So that's why the Confessor wanted flowers from me. He must like them. Where the hell did the Confessor get so many valuables? Something doesn't add up here.
Good to see you.
God be with you. How's the watch going?
Not bad, so far.
Greetings. What would you like?
Your brother Crispin, right? I'm here about Yaroslav. I heard he works here as a translator.
Ah, yes. Poor Yaroslav. I pray daily for his recovery. God has blessed him with an extraordinary talent and a sharp mind. It would be a terrible loss if... But no. Such thoughts help no one. And who are you, anyway?
My name is Henry. I'm helping Master Albic in the infirmary.
Very well. What do you want to know about Yaroslav?
Who here knew Yaroslav best?
Most likely, Brother Celestine. He helps with copying books too, though he doesn't have nearly the same talent.
Celestine, you say? I should speak to him. Where did Yaroslav work?
Here in the scriptorium, of course. You'll find his usual place right by the entrance. But be careful, he's got something unfinished there. He's spent so much time on it that it must be nearly done by now. It'd be a shame to ruin it just before completion.
Don't worry. I'll be careful. What exactly was Yaroslav doing here?
He's working on a translation of a book that came to us all the way from Genoa. While he was well, he spoke of nothing else. He knows Latin, Italian, and French.
What book was he translating?
It's called the Decameron.
And what's the Decameron about?
I've not read it myself. I'm not as well versed in Italian as Yaroslav. I was waiting for him to finish the translation, but he spoke of it as a groundbreaking work of indescribable value. He even believed it might one day uplift the Christian people beyond their worldly suffering. He was so excited he barely ate or slept, just kept working. I thought it best to let him focus solely on the translation and assigned his other duties to others.
Could you tell me, please, where he was staying?
He has a cell in the dormitory upstairs. Go up the stairs in front of the scriptorium and turn right. Then it's the 5th cell from the door.
Thanks. I'll take a look. Thanks.
We meet again.
It's almost empty. What was Yaroslav working on all those days?
My respects.
My respect.
What do you know about Brother Yaroslav? The librarian said you knew him better than anyone.
That's right. We joined the monastery at the same time and just got on somehow.
How does Yaroslav spend his time when he's not in the scriptorium?
Why are you even asking?
Master Albic put me up to it. He's treating him now. He said it might help if we knew more about Yaroslav.
I see. And how is he? Is the treatment working?
He'll definitely pull through. After all, he's in the care of the royal physician.
Really? Well, that puts me more at ease. What did you want to know?
How does Yaroslav spend his time?
Same as all of us. Yaroslav is completely immersed in his books. He's currently translating a new one from Italian. It's called the Decameron. He often stays in the scriptorium late into the night because of it. Shows up for morning prayers with his hands, sometimes even his nose, stained with ink.
And what does he do all night that he doesn't even sleep?
He copies or translates. It's no easy job, it takes focus, and at night no one disturbs him.
What's the matter? You're suddenly all prickly.
I just don't like where this is going. Yaroslav just works hard, that's all. There's nothing wrong with that.
Sounds more like you're hiding something from me. And I think I might have hit on something, eh?
You don't know a thing.
Really? Then how do you explain that in all that time, he's barely translated a few words?
What makes you say that?
Well, simple. The book is still lying in the scriptorium, and when I opened it, it was practically empty.
That's... You must be mistaken.
Why don't you believe me?
I do. I just don't want you going around and slandering Yaroslav left and right.
That's really not my aim. But I think I might be onto something. I just don't yet know what. And if you won't tell me anything, I'll probably have to ask the librarian again.
Wait. Don't say anything to Crispin.
Oh? And why not?
Because he simply wouldn't understand. Oh dear. Promise you really won't tell anyone.
Word of honor. Now talk.
All right. I just hope Yaroslav forgives me. One night he accidentally woke me. The door to his cell creaks horribly. I already suspected his translation was taking oddly long, so I followed him that night. At first, it looked like he was heading to the scriptorium, but after he went down the stairs he turned right and went down into the cellars. But when I went in after him, I couldn't see him anymore. I lost him in the dark.
And you've no idea where he might have gone?
Not a clue. As far as I know, it's just barrels of wine down there. And empty wine barrels.
Why didn't you want to tell me?
Because I just don't want Yaroslav to get expelled from the monastery.
Just for going to the cellar? That doesn't mean anything.
What if he was meeting someone down there? Someone no one's supposed to see him with.
What, like a woman?
Well, I once saw him standing in the monastery doorway with some wench, and they looked like they were having a grand old chat.
And where exactly did you lose him in the cellars?
In the corridor leading to the scriptorium, at the passage to the stairs to the lower level.
There's just one more thing I'd like to know. Has Yaroslav spoken to Brother Stephen recently? About confession, maybe?
I don't think so. Yaroslav doesn't neglect prayer or fasting, but he only rarely resorts to confession.
So you mean he sins, but avoids confessing it?
He hardly sees anything as sin. How can I put it? He chose a life of asceticism, but he's not afraid to live. He once said, Why would God create the world if he didn't want man to discover it?
The wench you saw Yaroslav with, was her name Blazhena? Because she's now in the infirmary with that same illness.
I don't know. I was mainly looking at Yaroslav. I don't even know any of the maids by name.
That's enough for now.
They seem pretty rusted.
So what? It's not like anyone would look at them.
My respects. My respects.
This must be where Yaroslav got lost when Celestin followed him. There's wine in the air. Someone must have spilled a cask. Someone's walked through the spilled wine. The trail continues here.
What the? Hey! How did you get in here? And who are you?
I should be the one asking you. Do you even know how I found this place?
No, I don't.
They say one of your brothers used to sneak in here. And one of the maids had a key to the door, too. You see where I'm going with this?
Oh no, you've got it all wrong.
Calm down. I'm not judging anyone. Both of them are seriously ill now. I'm just trying to help.
Christ's precious passion. May the Lord forgive us.
Forgive you for what? And who even are you?
Wojtek, we were writing a book here. All of us.
What book are you talking about? You don't mean the Decameron?
Oh no, Yaroslav finished that one long ago.
What are you on about? The book on his lectern in the scriptorium is almost empty.
When Yaroslav started translating the Decameron, he soon realized what it was really about. He became afraid that if Brother Crispin, or, God forbid, the abbot, found out, they'd forbid him to continue the translation. They might even have the book destroyed. What a loss that would be. So once he'd finished the translation, he hid it down here instead.
So, what's the Decameron actually about?
That's not such an easy question. And you don't look like someone who came here to talk about literature.
Then at least tell me why Yaroslav was afraid to hand over the book.
Because it represents a new way of thinking. It doesn't focus so much on our Lord, but more on man. On human virtues, vices, good and bad intentions, and all the forms of love.
Really? All of them?
All of them. Mind you, the book pokes fun at the church a little.
And you, as servants of God, were fine with that? It mocks your faith.
I said the church, not God. There's a difference, even if not everyone wants to see it.
Right. So what was Yaroslav working on down here, then?
The Decameron left a strong impression on him. He decided to write a book of his own, in the same spirit, to celebrate what is as valuable to man as love, or the spiritual life. He later asked Brother Ernest and me to work on the book together.
And what exactly did Yaroslav want to write about?
About humor, wit, laughter. About everything that can make a person laugh.
Why would someone write about that, of all things?
Something lofty?
Well, something like that.
Yaroslav believed that a sense of humor could help a person in hard times just as much as strong faith could.
There's something to that. Who knows how I'd have ended up if I hadn't been able to laugh at myself from time to time.
Just like Yaroslav said, laughter and humor are gifts from our Lord, among the mightiest. But the brothers probably wouldn't see it that way. That's why we met and worked in secret. And sometimes we just tried to outdo each other with witty sayings.
So basically you were sitting down here telling jokes all night?
Among other things, but mostly we were working.
All right, that's enough. I'd like to ask you something else. Who helped write your book?
Me, obviously Yaroslav, and Brother Ernest, and also Blazhina.
And what was Blazhina doing here? She's a maid. She probably can't write. And women aren't allowed in the monastery, are they?
I didn't get it at first either. Why Yaroslav brought her here. If anyone had found out, the abbot would have thrown us all out. But I soon understood. Humor isn't just for the educated or wealthy, let alone just for men. Laughter belongs to everyone. How could we grasp its breadth with just our limited experience?
So, this isn't about any sin? Blazhina's just funny?
More than that. Her laughter, sense of humor, her knack for knowing when to make a joke. It's a true gift from God.
What about the elder confessor, Stephen? Was he never part of this?
He's got nothing to do with it.
Who exactly is Ernest?
One of the older brothers. He's in charge of all the building and repair.
And where do I find him?
I can take you to him. I haven't seen him for a while.
I'd best go and check on him myself.
It's one of those under the abbot's quarters. The middle one on the right, if you're facing from the courtyard.
And how are you feeling, anyway? Are you all right?
Yes, at least for now.
No symptoms? Weakness, rash, fever, anything?
Nothing like that, I swear.
If you start feeling bad, report to the infirmary at once. Understood?
Of course.
Where did you say Brother Ernest's cell is?
It's one of those under the abbot's quarters.
How long have you been meeting here?
Since the start of summer.
So at least 30 days?
Roughly. I don't remember exactly. Sorry.
I've heard enough. I'll go and check on Ernest now.
Wait. What about me? What's going to happen to me?
I told you, if you're not feeling well, go to the infirmary. Albic will take care of you. Don't worry.
I meant our book. Please, don't tell the abbot about it. We weren't doing anything wrong.
Why would I tell him? He didn't do anything wrong here.
Thank you.
It's damp, chilly, but the air is clean. If the disease really spreads through foul air, then they must have caught it somewhere else.
Excuse me?
Loads of written parchments. They really must have been meeting here for a long time. Christ! I'm too late. Some building plans. Looks like a church. And underneath, probably a crypt? A rash. Same as the sick in the infirmary. He died sooner, so he must have been the first to catch it. I should tell Albic about this.
My respects.
You mentioned you know the herbalist, Joachim.
Don't think we're old friends or something of the like. We met once during my last visit to the monastery before my journey to Padua. When Zacharias mentioned him, I was glad to hear Joachim was still alive. He's growing a bit long in the tooth, you see.
So, you don't really know each other?
It's mainly my friend, Oswald Torvald, that knows him. He's the one that told me about Joachim originally. They've known each other for years, and though Joachim lacks a formal education, Oswald still learned much from him. They write to each other frequently, and he visited Joachim several times. But his work won't allow him to anymore.
I see. So what's this Joachim like?
He prefers to focus on his work rather than engage in conversation. Though when he does let someone get close, he can be friendly. And if you need help, he rarely hesitates to lend a hand.
Since we're spending time together, why don't you tell me more about yourself?
Sigismund Albig of Unichov, Doctor of Medicine of the Prague University and Doctor of Law of the Padua University. Personal physician and advisor to His Royal Highness King Wenceslas in matters of law and personal affairs alike. Though if you're interested in the specifics of my career, I'd recommend asking someone more knowledgeable who can appreciate the complexity of my journey from a bachelor's degree in the liberal arts to the royal court.
How did you come to treat King Wenceslas?
My talents and abilities speak for themselves. Not long ago, when I returned to Prague from Padua, word quickly got out that a capable physician had arrived. People started coming to me with all sorts of troubles. Then one day, the royal carriage stopped in front of my home. We rushed to Perglitz, where I found Wenceslas moaning in pain while his alchemists bathed him in various oils.
Which I reckon wasn't of much help.
Not in the slightest. But the treatment turned out to be quite simple. A diet. And its effects were near miraculous. Wenceslas has held me in close regard ever since. He soon learned I was learned in law as well, so I became his personal advisor. A few years ago, I was given a title for my services, as well as the particle of Unichov. As you can see, when you have the reputation of the best physician in the kingdom and knowledge of medicine and law alike, people seek you out on their own.
I hear you've written several books. What are they about?
About medicine. What else? I am most proud of the Compendium Medicinae, a summary of medical knowledge. I wrote it mainly for students and practitioners, but I'm also planning to write a book about health and how to keep healthy. It won't just be advice on how to survive the plague or treat a fever. It'll be a guide on how to live correctly and sensibly. What to eat, when to sleep, how to exercise, what to avoid. I believe that health is not a coincidence, but the result of a sensible lifestyle. Those who know and follow these rules won't need to visit the physician as often, which may be an unpleasant truth to some of my colleagues.
How is medicine in Italy different from Bohemia?
Massively. Though my local colleagues don't like to hear it. In Italy, especially in Padua, emphasis is placed on precise observation, analysis of causes and effects, and above all, prevention. Italians pay more attention to the connection between diet, environment, and health. Something I have tried to introduce here, albeit with limited success. Czechs are used to heavy, fatty foods and rely more on miracles than sensibility. Here, physicians are taken as a last resort. In Italy, a physician's word is law for daily life.
Albig?
What is it?
Albig?
What is...
Dag. I found another infected.
You're not the only one. While you were gone, they brought in several more. So, Where's your sick man?
With the Lord now. I found him too late.
Lord have mercy. Do you at least know who it was?
One of the monks. His name was Ernest.
That's the second death today. Let's hope it's the last. The confessor's dead. Old Stephen.
Don't blame yourself. I'm sure you did everything you could to help him.
We tried, but sometimes there's just nothing we can do. At least we know he's no longer suffering. And what about you? Did you find out anything about the others who are sick? Do they have anything in common?
I found some jewelry in Stephen's cell. It looked quite old.
Jewelry? Where would he have got that from?
He might have stolen it. But given how strict he was about the seal of confession, it doesn't seem likely. Maybe someone else stole it, but guilt caught up with him, and he gave it to Stephen during confession.
Maybe. But surely we'd have heard about such a theft by now. Unless...
they stole it from someone who can't tell anyone anymore. Do you think we've got a murderer here?
I've no idea. It's all just guesswork.
I found out that Ernest, Yaroslav and Blazhena were meeting regularly. There's a secret copying workshop in the cellar.
A secret? But why? And what in God's name was she doing there?
Well, it's a long story, but I know for sure they were meeting down there. Those three from the infirmary, and the overseer I found dead.
Very well. I believe you. That explains why those three got infected. Do you think it happened in their workshop? Did you notice dampness, mold, any strange smell or bad air?
Nothing like that. It was damp, but the air was otherwise clean.
In that case, someone must have brought the illness to them.
But who?
Probably Ernest. If he died first, it would make sense.
Well, maybe the illness just killed him faster because he was older. Like the confessor.
That's possible too.
So, what are we going to do now?
We'll go to the abbot. You, Zacharias, and I. This is getting out of hand, and the number of sick keeps rising.
To the abbot? Right now?
You think waiting will solve anything?
You've all come. That can't mean anything good.
The truth is, more are falling ill and the infirmary's filling up fast.
We're trying to give them all they need. But soon there'll be no beds and they'll have to lie on the floor.
How many have died?
The old confessor, Brother Stephen.
And Brother Ernest, too.
Ernest?
He died in his cell. No one even knew he'd fallen ill.
So, it started then.
Ernest wasn't treated. Even mild illness can be deadly without care.
And Stephen's age didn't help either.
When the Black Death last swept the town, it also started slowly. The old, the sick, and those no one missed were the first to die. And then we couldn't even bury the dead in time, let alone give them the last rites. Now, the Lord is punishing us for it.
We do have some good news. With Henry's help, we might soon uncover where the infection's coming from.
We know that Brother Yaroslav and that maid both met with Ernest, so the illness must have spread between them.
They all met? Even the maid? Why?
Well, I didn't mean they were all together at the same time. Just that both Yaroslav and Blazhena had encounters with Ernest.
Why would a maid be meeting with Ernest? That makes no sense.
Ernest never left the monastery grounds.
He did, in fact. Fairly often. He was one of the few allowed out for work reasons.
Then they must have run into each other by chance, somewhere outside.
Very well, then.
Just breathing the same foul air as someone infected for a while puts you at risk.
And since I found Ernest already dead, we believe he's the one who brought the sickness among the others. If he was the first to die, then he must have been the first to catch it, right?
But where did he catch it?
I don't know yet, Father. but I have certain suspicions. What was his job in the monastery?
Ernest oversaw all building and repair work in the monastery.
And what had he been working on lately?
He'd been supervising repairs in the church. A floor had collapsed above the crypt recently. He was assigning tasks to laborers and overseeing the work.
Which crypt do you mean?
Some important nobles are buried there. But most of all, it's the tomb of my predecessors. May their souls rest in peace.
That might be the source of the foul air. The illness could have spread from the exposed crypt.
I ought to go into the church and inspect everything thoroughly, especially that crypt.
That's not a good idea. If the illness is really spreading from there, no one should go in.
I understand your concern, Zacharias. But Henry is right. At this point, it's just a supposition, and we must put it to the test.
Enough! What nonsense is this? No one's going into that crypt. The disease is spreading. The infirmary is full. We've already got 2 dead.
Father, I understand you're afraid, but...
Afraid? I'm not afraid. I bear responsibility for the whole monastery, for every living soul. And it's my God-given duty to do everything I can to protect them from the plague.
Father, wait. Just give us a day. 2 at most. I'll just find out where the sickness came from.
You won't get another hour. The monastery is to be sealed. No one goes in, no one comes out. All the monks are to withdraw to their cells.
What about us? You want to keep us here against our will?
I don't want to, but I must. And at the same time, I humbly ask for your help. Believe me, you'll be repaid when the time is right. You came to me with a certain request. Help me, you may consider it granted.
It's for the best, Albec. Even if it turns out not to be the plague, it's still a deadly illness, and we're within sight of the town. If it spreads to Kuttenberg, it'd be a disaster.
I know. But as you wish. I'm sorry, Henry, but I'm afraid we have no choice.
Tibi Domine, fratrum nostrum, humiliter commendamus, ut quem in hac vita mortali, immenso semper es prosecutus amore, nunc manis omnibus liberatum, in requiem in gredi iubias sempiternam. Tuam ergo clementium de precamur, ut via prima iam transierunt, illum in paradisum tum begnine perducus, ubi neque luctus, neque clamor, neque dolor erit ultra. Sed pax et gaudium, cum Filio Tuo et Spiritu Sancto, in saecula saeculorum. Amen.
What now? This whole situation keeps getting worse. How am I meant to treat a disease I know almost nothing about? This can't end well.
Then what do you suggest? The abbot's forbidden us from going anywhere outside the infirmary.
Not only that, he's had the monastery gates shut. No one's allowed in.
Or out. Ludolf's men are even patrolling the grounds. We're literally imprisoned.
Still, something must be done. The beds are nearly full, and there's not endless space on the floor either.
Henry, I know I've no right to ask this of you.
Speak plainly. What do you need?
Straight to the point. You remind me of myself. I always used to urge Albic too, remember?
How could I forget? You young ones are always rushing about. But to the point. Search the church crypt. If there's a plague grave down there, uncovered by that collapse, then at least we'll know for sure.
But surely no one would have buried plague victims there. That's where the abbot's tombs are.
I'm not looking to confirm it. On the contrary, I want to rule it out. I still don't believe we're dealing with plague. I'll stay here and tend to the sick.
Let me assist you, friend.
Thank you. I appreciate that. There's enough work here for the both of us. Henry, try speaking with the workers repairing the collapsed floor. In the best case, they might have noticed something. In the worst case, they'll already be showing symptoms of the disease.
And how do I get there? I'm not even supposed to poke my nose outside. The knights are patrolling the grounds.
If they catch him wandering somewhere he shouldn't be, they'll have him thrown out.
And the abbot will find out we're investigating the source of the outbreak despite his explicit orders. But this is about lives. Henry, I believe you can do it. But still, be careful.
I'll do what must be done. Just make sure you look after the sick.
Hold on. In Italy, physicians wear a kind of hood with a mask. It protects them from foul air and perhaps even the plague.
True. I've heard the same in Padua.
Sounds good. But where am I meant to get one around here?
With a bit of skill, you can make it yourself. All you need for the hood is a piece of leather. You'll need to hang fragrant herbs around the collar. Something like mint or sage.
Might as well perfume myself all over.
You jest. But yes. The less foul air you breathe in, the better.
You can use the workbench in the alchemical workshop to make it.
All right. I'll be off then.
Best of luck. And God be with you.
And with you.